Hello. Check this freaking thing out. So, I am just going to do like 30 seconds of just nothing but up close on this thing, because there's a lot of detail. So check this dude out. We've got a DiMarzio 36th anniversary humbucker in the bridge position. We got the clone pickups in the neck and middle. We got 250K pots all around, basically just standard wiring for like an S-style guitar, which really tones down the high end of that humbucker. Tones down a little bit of the volume too, makes it play well with the single coils. Also, I have that humbucker set pretty low. I'll show you here in a second. Just get more detail on this thing. It is generally a monumental pain in the ass to get single coils and humbuckers to sound well with each other without sacrificing something. So, what we did is just found a very happy medium. We set the humbucker very low and set the singles, fairly average. I like to set them a little low anyway. So 250K pots all around, just a regular 0.022K poly cap. And so it's going to tone down the volume and the high end of this guy. It's going to make it play very nicely with these guys. Because if this was a 500K pot, it would make this thing blazing hot, and it would make these things sound like an ice pick, which is no good. So we just kept everything kind of standard as far as the wiring goes. We have Graphtec string saver saddles, just because they look awesome. They sound really good. They also dial a little of that high end out, which is nice for a humbucker with singles. The finish on this thing turned out really great. We did that vintage sunburst thing where you have that kind of thick, thick as far as nitro goes anyway, thick like yellow sealer coat on it. This is an elite model, so it has that, you can kind of hear that textured raised grain. And this is not just a stain. This is actually like a chemical process that we put the wood through. I mean, this whole thing, I'm trying to get the light to kind of bounce off of this thing so you can see the kind of the texture and ridges of that guy. Got a flame maple neck. This one has like a chunkier C profile on it. It's not baseball bat by any means at all. It's just a little bit bigger than your average 60s C shape. Basically, this thing just looks like, a bunch of loud assholes outside yelling about something. But the finish, the aging, everything just turned out freaking perfect on this thing. The grain's just perfect for the exposed wood. The raised grain on the back is great, especially when we put all of that kind of belt that kind of belt buckle rash on the wood itself. Thing's just vibey as hell, man. It's relatively lightweight. It's not a boat anchor, but it's not featherweight either. It's just nice and perfect. Got nice lacquer checking over the whole thing. And a little trick that we do, not to give any crazy secrets away or nothing, but see how you can actually see the weather checking? We mix, like once we weather check it, it's usually just a surface thing. But what we do is as soon as we check it, we mix together powdered graphite and lemon oil, and we rub it into the checking, and it actually makes the checking just like instantly visible, you know, so there's really no mistaking it. It's a little touch, but it makes a big difference. You got Brazilian, this is either Brazilian rosewood or Brazilian walnut, one of the two. It's hard to tell the difference. This might be Brazilian walnut, I think. They're both killer cuts of wood, but one's illegal to export, one's perfectly legal. They look the same, they feel the same, they sound the same. It's a slab board, 6105 frets, 9.5-inch radius, 1.65 nut width. Just standard vintage nickel tuners, nothing crazy. Got some bite marks on the headstock, just to make it look used and worn in, match the rest of the guitar. The cut of flame maple's ridiculous as always. We kind of do with, not with all, it just depends on what kind of look we're going for, but we do what, kind of what Paul Reed Smith does with their flame maple necks. Is what we do to make that flame just pop like crazy is we'll basically stain the entire neck jet black, and then we sand it all the way back to almost raw wood, which is a complete pain in the ass process, and it takes forever, and it really doesn't make the flame like jump out like crazy. I mean, it won't make like a 2A piece look like a 5A piece or anything like that, but it just makes it just that much more pretty. It just makes it more kind of more of a bold flame look. But yeah, it's totally hot. Plays great. It's intonated perfectly. Bolts tune awesome. I played this guy, luckily, played this dude at my show 2 weeks ago, and haven't tuned it since, and it was only like a little bit out. Like if I was forced to, I probably could have played a song with it and it wouldn't have been super terrible or anything. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna very quickly just run through the combos of this, the pickups, just you know, give you a couple sound examples. Then I'll just kind of run through a little bit of a backing track and call it a day. But yeah, this thing is absolutely sweet. Every once in a while I get one that I wish I could keep, and this is definitely one that I wish I could hang on to. But yeah, if you're curious, one like this, like just like this, if you were to order it, with the flame, the Brazilian, all that kind of stuff, you're probably looking around two payments of $12.99, give or take. Maybe not even that much. But yeah, it's just gorgeous, man. Ah, dual shock disconnected. What a shame. But yeah, let's plug this guy in real quick. I'm going through the little Yamaha THR lunchbox amp. Thing sounds too good for what it does anyway. But yeah, let's give her a little spin real quick. So this is just volume and tones on 10 throughout the entire thing. humbucker. Let's get the effects off of there right quick. Most all the time, I have the tone rolled to about anywhere between 2 if I want it super dark and like 5 if I want it sounding like normal to what I like. The second position with most any HSS guitar is going to be out of phase, which can be cool. It totally depends on what amp you have, what freaking strings you're playing, what pedals you have on your board, plugged in or not, what pedals you have on, all that stuff. It just completely depends on the day. So sometimes it sounds awesome, sometimes it sounds like a drunk chicken, totally depends. But sometimes, most of the time, you can get a pretty cool, like semi-quasi acoustic-y kind of sound out of it. Again, not the greatest, but it's just the way it is. Now, if I went on a different channel, like a lead channel or like a Vox simulator or something, it would sound absolutely different. If you want to get like a really killer, like Brian May from Queen kind of lead solo sound, this is really where it's at. It's super cool. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not that good. But middle. It's pretty much just like, from here up, it's pretty much just like a standard black one would be. Fourth position. Now this kind of flat setting does sound better. Kind of turned up a little bit, so we're going to crank up a little bit. Maybe put a little reverb in there, something to weten it up. Turn down the tone just a little bit and see what's up. Yeah, it just takes that kind of that 2K spike out of it. Nothing much, just on like 7.5 or so. Just everything on 10. Everything just kind of backed off at 7. Volume up. Back to the humbucker. Tones at like 3. So we are going to put it on, turn the guitar way down. We're going to put it on basically like a lead, almost like a Gilmore sound. But with a humbucker, with the tone rolled back and the volume rolled back. Focus. It's very like Andy Timmons-ish. So I'm just going to run through a backing track real quick. Maybe. Some backing tracks aren't good like that one, but yeah, you get it. It's totally awesome. Yeah, basically, I mean, you can just rock out with your guitar down, basically. Or you can just roll everything on like 3 and it's tasty. This thing kicks ass. Buy one. I want to make more of them. Yeah, MCL Guitars. Look us up. Buy stuff. Subscribe. All that good shit. See ya.